regardless of when you watch this, just so you know, we're about to record episode 179 of our podcast. Today, we're talking about three simple questions that you can ask yourself or your team to succeed in the next half of the month. We're talking about evaluation this month. We made it for more. So, our newsletters, our podcasts, our one-on-ones, our coaching, it's all about evaluation, because when you and I evaluate, we can be honest with ourselves about where we're going, right? So make sure you reach out to us if you want some help with evaluations. Right now, I'm helping all kinds of clients with, priority with life and work. People call it life work balance. There is no balance. Balance is a myth, in my opinion, because something's going to take precedence in that. And so I want to make sure that if you need help, you can reach out. You can drop us a message. We can set something up. We're talking about goals. We're talking about staying on track, culture, and team observations. All that in the month of July. So if you're someone who runs a small business or needs somebody to bounce ideas off of, particularly if you're a leader, you're kind of investing in the team or taking care of the team. But who's taking care of you is what I typically ask. So reach out if you need some help. But we're about to get into episode 179. Three questions that we should all ask ourselves. Three simple questions that we should all ask ourselves. So here we go. Appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to be talking to you, and I'll be talking to the podcast people. So appreciate you. So here we go in 3, 2, 1. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Made for More podcast, the podcast where we talk about leadership and personal development. We want to make sure that we are growing as individuals so that we can motivate, inspire, and encourage those around us. And those around us that we lead, especially here we go. We're going to cut. So those of you guys on YouTube, you can actually see that this is live. That this is not a. It's a one shot is what we got. So we're going to restart. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Everyone, welcome back to the Made for More podcast, a podcast where we talk about leadership and personal development. We want to make sure that as individuals, we are growing so that we can motivate, inspire, and encourage those around us and those that we lead. As individuals, we can't pour from an empty cup. So growth is vital to our lives and to our company and to maybe a team that we lead. We're halfway through the year. It's in July now. And before we charge into what's next, it's time to hit pause and ask, are we headed in the right direction, or are we just moving fast? Think about that. Are we moving in the right direction, or are we just moving fast? This episode is going to be all about slowing down and reflecting. It's not about any kind of judgment, but it's about clarity. Because when we have clarity, we have the right direction, right? We're going to walk through three simple but very powerful questions to evaluate where we are, what's working, what's not, and what needs to shift for the rest of the year. So I'm glad you're locked in with me. This is kind of our roadmap, our checkpoint in the journey of the year that we're taking, since it's July, halfway. So I appreciate you guys being here. One of the things I just want to say, if this is your first time listening, I appreciate it. Please drop us a review. You can rate us wherever you're listening to this podcast, whether it's Spotify, Google, Apple. I know we're on other platforms. If you're on YouTube, we'd appreciate you following us. We appreciate you checking us out. So those of you listening to this, and not watching the video version, there's a live version on our YouTube page. You can go to YouTube, click on live, and you can watch the live version. Today, I'm flying solo, so I appreciate you guys listening here. Today, I want to remind you about the weekly leadership challenge. Every Monday, we have a leadership challenge come out. You can sign up for that on our website, www.madeformoreconsulting.com. That's the number 4. So check it out. And what we're helping people with right now. So if you're listening, if you're watching, what we're helping people right now with is priority of life and work. YouTube, you've already heard this, but we're helping people when they think that there's a balance between life and work. There is no balance. I think balance is a myth. So what we're helping people with is helping them prioritize life and work and how that carries over, because if you're not careful, you can be too far into work. If you're not careful, you can be too far into life and outside of work, and something's going to suffer. We're also helping our clients with our goals, not just writing them down and making sure they look good on a whiteboard, but making sure that we write them down and that we make progress and we make movement. We're helping people stay on track. And And with some of the organizations that we're helping right now, we're talking all about culture and team cohesiveness, making sure that we gel and that we have a culture that encourages growth and encourages leadership and personal development. So reach out if you ever need something. If you know someone that needs something, share this podcast with them. But today's going to be simple and straight to the point about 3 questions that we all need to ask ourselves. But before we get into that, I need you to know we're here in Texas. Today's July 9th. 5 days after the recent floods here in Texas. And I'm just telling you right now, as we were recording, a chopper passed by. I'm about 8 miles away from, I would say, ground zero in Leander, Texas. We're not in Kerrville. This isn't Kerr County. This is Leander, Texas, and Travis County. About 8 miles away is where we've seen about 11 people found. And unfortunately, they passed away, but we are missing several people from a community up the road in the Sandy Creek area. So just right up the road, I'm looking out the window. We drove by there this morning and yesterday. And right now, the effort there is, there's a state and federal level. I know if you try to go volunteer, I'm sure there's some things you can do. But right now with cadaver dogs and the people searching, you have to have a certain level of a certain level to do those kind of things. So as a volunteer, what I'm suggesting is if you're around the area, go in, knock on someone's house, on their door that looks affected, and just say, hey, how can I help? I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, but I'm saying the things that are being done at the level right now, we just can't help because they're searching for life, right? They're searching for people. So it's an interesting situation here. And trying to help the families. I know my daughter lost a classmate in the floods here right up the road, just like I said, 8 miles away. He was in the band, and I believe they're searching for 2 other family members of his, and just a sad and tragic situation here. And so if you'd like to help, I would look up the city of Leander, and there should be some ways to help there. We're going to be having the gathering this Sunday. We're going to be talking about how to help. But if you are getting the desire to help, I would just drive out to Sandy Creek if you're in the area and just look for a place to serve. You can drop off donations. I'm sure they take gift cards and water and food. Whatever you do, don't wait around. Don't wait for somebody to give you direction. I would follow your intuition, follow your gut, and just go out there and help. So I didn't want to start this episode with that, but I also didn't want to go through this episode without acknowledging what was going on here in Texas, specifically right here in our backyard. So today, episode 179, 3 questions we all need to ask ourselves. Are you ready? Here we go. If you're a phone person, get your notes app out. If you are a journal person, get something to write with, because we're going to go through this. And it's all about evaluation. Our month of July is all about evaluations, whether it's personal. You can take these questions and apply them to your personal life. You can apply it to your business life. You can apply it to your team, to a company you lead. So we're going over 3 questions that are all about evaluation. That is going to be the month of July. Check out our website, like I said, to sign up for each weekly email that comes out on Monday in regards to evaluation. So when it comes to evaluations, one of the things I learned when I was working with a corporate company, I had a direct supervisor who was my district manager and then became a regional vice president, Charlie Harrison. I loved going through the evaluation for me because, one, it taught me where I was going. It showed me where I needed to be, where we were maybe falling off track. But in the end, it was someone who was leading me at a pace to go, hey, I want you to grow. I see more within your team, and what are you going to do to develop that? So he showed me where I was going. He showed me what I was on pace with. He also let me know where he wanted me to be and where the company needed me to be. But he also believed in me and showed me what needed to happen. So 3 questions when we're evaluating ourselves, our team, or our company that we lead. Number 1, here we go. It's all about looking back. Number 1, ask yourself this. What worked well so far this year? What worked well so far this year? Where have I grown? What am I proud of? So those are the kind of 2 other questions under that you can ask yourself to think about this. Where have I grown and what am I proud of? And the reason I want to start with the positive side is because all day, all day we can think about the negative. It is so easy for us to think about the negative of this is what I'm doing wrong. This is what's not going right. This is what I need to do because let's just stop right now and in your journal, in your notes app, whatever it is that you're doing, let's ask ourselves what has been working so far this year? What's been working well? Where have I grown? Where have we grown? What am I proud of? What am I proud of our team in? Because if we don't take the time to develop a sense or a habit of looking for the positivity or the growth, we're always going to be looking at the negative or what we didn't amount to, and then that transfers to our team. Yes, there is a dichotomy in that because you want to make sure that you are leaving space to grow and making sure that we are pushing our team. But if we don't ever take the time to understand that we need to look at what worked, where we're growing, and what we're proud of, then we're never going to take the time to celebrate ourselves or others. And I'm not saying get conceited and get a big head. You don't want to be that smelly goat, right? What we want to do is look back and go over the last 6 months, what is working really well? What has gotten me the progress of where I'm at? What have I done really good? Where have I grown? Like, are you reading? Are you learning? Have you gotten on the kick of reading books? Are you staying on track with that? What are you proud of? So when you think about that, what are you proud of? I think what happens in life is we tend to forget to celebrate what's actually happening in our lives. It's good, and I think we're gun shy to say that we're proud of ourselves in this area because we don't want people to think that they aren't good at what they're doing, and we probably feel like it's a brag, but it's not. I'm asking us to look at ourselves to go, what am I proud of so far this year? And if I'm going to be blunt and honest with you, because I'm asking you to write this down, is for me, if I'm looking back and I go, what's worked well so far? Where have I grown? And what am I proud of? It's the amount of clients. Last year I had one client. Now I'm up to 7 or 8. And within those clients, there's multiple employees, right? So if you looked at all the people that I am somewhat working with, I would say it's under 100, but it's over 60, somewhere between 50 and 100 people that I get to interact with and help, right? Whether it's a big team, a restaurant, whether it's a one-on-one, and entrepreneurs or solo people that are running an organization, or if it's a few offices that I'm helping, or a college student. So there's several ways that's working in my life, but I got to stop and go, okay, last year I wasn't at this place. I'm proud of myself for being here. I'm not going to go, could I work harder? Could it be, let's not even go there yet. Just take your notes app, take your journal and say, what's working so far this year? Where have I grown? And where have we grown? Maybe if you're doing this for your company or team. And the last part of that question could be, what am I proud of? What am I proud of? Don't go to the negative. Don't write but, don't write if, just what are you proud of? So number one, simple, powerful question. Number one, ask yourself what worked well so far this year. And if you need help thinking about it more, you can ask yourself, where am I growing and what am I proud of? So number two, simple but powerful question. Number two, get honest. Okay, we got to be honest here. Okay, there's no guilt, there's no shame, but let's just be honest, because with honesty comes clarity. And here's the question: what's not working? And if you need some questions or to maybe ask yourself to answer more and expand what's not working, here are a couple more. What goals or habits or roles feel off track or unclear? And you and I know that because in our gut we can probably tell ourselves, again, let's just take my role for example. If I am proud of myself for having these clients and being in a better place where I've been, something that if I need to get honest and go, what's not working, I could do more work for them. I could create a better system of organization on my end so that I know that as I'm going between clients, I know what track they're on. So I could create some kind of track, some kind of database that keeps track of everything and what we talked about, right? I have notes and I have emails that I always look at and store so that as I go to my next meeting, I have to go back and look. So what I could do better at is creating a better habit of staying on track with each client and making sure that I encourage them more often and better. So what I've done just then is I've looked at something that I could do better, and I've actually created steps on what I could do for the future, but that we're not there yet, right? So let's just write down in our notes app or in our journal, what's not working right now? What are some goals or habits or roles um, that maybe feel off or unclear? And when I say unclear, um, maybe you and I are trying to do something that there's no clarity. Maybe you are a part of a team where there's no clarity. So if you feel off and you don't know your role, then maybe you need to go to your supervisor, your boss, or maybe you are the boss and you go, I need to establish these roles, and I need to write it out. And then you need to meet with somebody, because if you feel off, then they feel off. If we're the leaders and we feel off, it transfers over, because so goes the leader, so goes the culture. So the second question, the second most powerful question you and I can ask ourselves about this year is, what's not working? What goals or habits or roles feel off or unclear? And if you and I cannot be honest with ourselves, again, you and I aren't going to hit 100% all the time, but we have to be honest here. There's no shame. It's just truth, because truth brings clarity. When there's clarity, there's direction on where you and I need to head. Um, but you and I have to see what's not working. We have to admit that, hey, if I have a habit of getting on my phone at work and it takes me off track, or it takes me, or I start to scroll and it distracts me from work, then we need to write that down going, I'm getting distracted because of my phone. Or, hey, I'm leaving work a little early because I feel like I finished the task of the day and I can duck out because I can maybe pick up the rest tomorrow. Maybe you stay a little bit longer and you knock that out. Is that a habit? Are you turning that into a habit? Some of the other habits that I see myself and other clients is maybe after noon, after lunch, we come back and we're groggy and we're down and out and we need a nap. So our work is less than par, right? So write that down. Say, hey, I'm not reaching my maximum potential in the afternoon. Or maybe you're rolling in late. Maybe you had a goal, or what we call a New Year's resolution, to come in and hit the ground running at work, and maybe you're late to work now. Maybe that's a habit. Don't fix it yet. Just write it down. What is not working? What goals, habits, or roles feel off track or unclear? Write them down, but be honest, because you and I can be dishonest with ourselves, and then it's easy to blame, and that's not where we're headed. So 3 powerful, simple questions to ask ourselves. We've gone through 2. Number 1, ask yourself what's worked well so far. Number 2, we're getting honest and we're asking what's not working, what feels off or unclear. And here's the third powerful, simple question is this. It's about setting intention. What do I want the next 6 months to look like? And what needs to shift to make it happen? So not just what does it need to look like, but what shifts do it need to happen? So if you and I take that example of, I need to be more organized with my clients. Well, what do I want it to look like over the next 6 months? I want it to look like a database of easy to read, the flow and the natural progression over the years, so I can see the progress that my clients have made, so that I can share it with them. 2, I can see my notes that I've made. 3, that it's easy and accessible. 4, it's easy to look back over the entire year to see where they started and where they're at, right? So that's where I want it to be. That's the vision that I see. That's the intent that I want it to be at the end of the year. Now, what's the shift that needs to happen? I need help. I need to ask for help making a database. I need to ask for help with somebody who's really good at, keeping track of these things, or creating a database, or creating something that all I got to do is go in and fill that out. Well, the good thing is I have a wife who's really good at admin work and loves doing those things. So again, as I'm setting clarity of something that I was really good at, something that I need to get better at, and now the intent is going, I'm not going to do this on my own. I'm going to bring someone else into my life that is really good at this and ask them to help me. Well, maybe you can help them in return at something they're not good at. So you see what I'm saying? When we set intent and we set the mindset of that, we don't have everything together, but we did some really good things. The set intention for the next 6 months and what needs to shift, you're going to bring up things that you can get better at and who needs to come with you. So for me, that's just an example. For the next 6 months, I want to see more organization. I want to reach out more. I want to be more intentional with them, but I need some kind of database. She's going to help me with that, or someone's going to help me with that, right? But for you, what do you want the next 6 months to look like, and what shifts need to happen? And this things aren't just going to happen. One of the things that I like about Jocko Willink, that I follow, is when he put a video out, and most people think it's harsh because he's talking about someone who came up to him and said, "Hey, things just aren't going my way," and he ends up turning around and going, "Things aren't just going to go your way. You got to make things happen." And so you and I can have this. We can have a cork board, a whiteboard, and it can look really nice with all the goals, all the things. And look, if you're here on YouTube, you can look right next to me. I have a vision board for Made for More on why we do what we do, and how we do it. None of that's going to happen sitting on the whiteboard. We have to get out there and make it happen. But the way you make it happen is by breaking it down. And that's one of the things we do with our clients is goal setting. And so for the next 6 months, if I say I want to get organized better and I write that down, that's great. But if I don't do anything with it, it's never going to happen. And then guess what happens at the end of the year? There's no clarity. There's frustration. I'm upset. And then I go into the next year feeling like I got to set this goal again. And then it's going to repeat the process. You got to create habits that are going to help you shift to get to a better place. So I'm asking, what do you need to be intentional about over the next 6 months? The goal setting. I'm trying to think of a smaller goal for us. If you're saying you need to get to, for the next 6 months, one of my goals is going to be to get to work on time, right? Get to work on time. Why? So what's the why behind it? Why does this even matter? One, because you want your team to know that you're there on time, that you're serious about your work, because being there on time is going to show them that, hey, you actually care. The third thing it could do is maybe get you there when someone needs help early. The fourth thing it could do is possibly get you there so that your boss, or if you are the boss, it brings some pocket change, some capital, some leadership capital, going, hey, am I going to trust someone who's always late? Or am I going to put my trust in someone who at least gets there early? Let's just take that for example. So if you are goal setting for the next 6 months to get there on time, you got to back up, right? We got to back up. And I would do this with a client. I'd ask them, hey, what time are you going to bed? You're a night owl? Cool. But remember, you have a responsibility to your team, to the people you lead, to the boss or owner that you work for, that you need to be there on time. And you've already admitted, by being honest with yourself, what's not working. And what's not working is you're getting there late. So what we're going to work on for the next 6 months is getting there on time or early. So let's backtrack. What time are you going to bed? And it's okay that you're a night owl, but know that we need to set an alarm. And maybe an action step is to set it away from your bed so you can get up and walk over there and turn it off. Number two, number three, how long does it take to get to work? Like, how long is that drive with traffic, without traffic, on a rainy day? If you say, hey, it's a good 20 minutes without traffic, well, then we need to leave with maybe 45 minutes to get there. And you may go, man, I'm going to be there for 20 minutes. You can sit out in your car, listen to audiobook, get better, listen to music, do your makeup in the car, whatever you're doing, right? But the intent, when we're setting intention with what do I need to shift for the next 6 months to make this happen, we need to leave earlier. We need to get up earlier. We need to have the intention of, my goal is to build trust with my team, with my boss, with my leader, or to be a better leader, and I need to do it by getting there early. Then you need to step back and go, when am I going to bed? How long is it going to take to work? How many alarms do I have set? I need to stop hitting snooze. And then when do I need to take off? And what needs to happen between the time you wake up and when you take off? We need to make sure we leave enough time for that. That's just simple. That's just common sense. Do I want to eat breakfast? Am I getting a protein shake to go? Am I going to have to make that? Am I going to have to go stop by coffee and get that? You got to put all that in there so that you're not showing up to work late and going, well, I took off early. It was Starbucks' fault because the guys knew. No, that's not ownership. That's you pushing blame off to someone else for you not leaving early. Well, there's an accident and it got backed up. Well, that could fly because there could be other people on the road with you that work with you. But if you left early enough with not even the whole mindset of you just showing up on time is not the goal. The goal is to build trust with your team, build capital with your boss or the team that you're leading or the company that you own, so that people can trust you. And when they trust you, they work harder. And when they work harder, you get better return for for the people that you're hiring. And when you get a better return, you make a profit. And when you make a profit, you begin to be successful. So I'm not saying it's all sunshine and rainbows, but when you set intent on a goal, you break that down all the way backwards so that you can go, this is what needs to happen at the base level. I need to go to bed earlier, or I just need to be ready to get up, don't hit snooze and get going. But goal setting is about breaking it down to accomplish it. It's not just so that you can look at it on a cool whiteboard, but it's going, this third question, what do I need, what do I want the next 6 months to look like, and what needs to shift to make that happen? So those are the 3 simple freaking questions to ask ourselves when we're looking at evaluating our lives, our team, our leadership, our company, or our unit that we're leading at work. Whatever it is, if you ask yourselves these 3 simple questions. Number 1, what has worked well so far this year? Celebrate the heck out of that. If you're leading a team, ask them to show you what worked well, because more than likely, as a leader, you may overlook some things. You may have not seen some things that they're doing. So please ask them, what has worked well so far this year? Number 2, what's not working? And remember, the key is being honest, because when you have clarity, when you have honesty, you have clarity. With dishonesty becomes no clarity, and then you're just making excuses. So number 1, what's worked? Number 2, what's not working? Number 3, what do I want the next 6 months to look like, and what shift needs to happen in my habit, in my goals? What shift needs to happen to make this happen? So those are 3 simple questions to ask yourself. And I believe we're under 30 minutes on this podcast, and that's what I want it to be. But here's the other thing I want you to know is that this is what I'm working on with clients constantly, is how to set goals, how to create a life work prioritized life, not balance, because balance is a myth. Also helping them with culture, helping the owners, the managers, the high level leadership, because when that leadership is taking care of the team, then who's taking care of that leadership? Who's helping them grow? Who's encouraging them to grow? Who's keeping that high level view for them to say, hey, you have to step out and make sure you're growing, because so goes a leader, so goes a culture. So that's some of the things that we do. So please reach out. You can DM me wherever you see this. You can comment on YouTube. You can go on the website and just fill out one of those forms and say, hey, I heard this here. Can you help me with this? You can follow us on social media and reach out there. So all that stuff's going to be in the podcast notes, from the website to the weekly email that goes out, and all our Made for More social media platforms. That'll be in the podcast notes. So I really do appreciate you guys listening. I appreciate you guys watching on YouTube as well. I wanted to make this quick, short, and to the point. 3 questions that we all should be asking ourselves midway through the year. And then, again, remembering that here in Texas, we could use all the thoughts and prayers. But then beyond that, beyond the thoughts and prayers, you can come out here and put some work in if you feel led to go. I can show you. We're 8 miles away from what happened here in Leander. You can go to Kerrville. You can go to Llano. You can go to Burnett. You can go to Bertram. You can go to San Angelo. You can go to Georgetown. There's so many communities that have been affected by these floods here. July 9th, 2025, whenever you listen to this, if you're listening to this in the future, obviously, or later, this obviously means that this is past. But if you're listening to this live right now, if you want to help, let me know, and I can help you get in touch with volunteering. But I'm sure you've watched the news. I'm sure you heard of it. So just be praying for these families, and continue to make sure that you're growing, because we can't pour from an empty cup. And I appreciate you guys listening. And as always, this is the challenge, but this is the vision behind all this. Remember, we exist for more. We're here to offer more. Don't ever give up. Every single one of us are made for more. Later, guys. Well, YouTube, that is it. That's our episode 179. We have 178 other episodes you can listen to. I'm trying to make sure that we keep it under 30 minutes and simple and to the point. Also working on a few interviews with some good people in the education industry and the veteran industry, or in the veteran community, also in the leadership community. to share their stories and their life of where they're at and how they got there and how that can be an encouragement to us, because we're all about motivate, inspire, and encourage. So if you'd like to help the flood victims, I'm sure you can go find that on the Kerr County, Travis County pages, Georgetown, Leander City pages. I'm sure you can find that. So yeah, please reach out if there's anything I can do for you. I'm here to help. Just consider it a life coach, a business coach, a personal development coach, whatever you'd like to call me. That's what I'm helping people do. So appreciate you guys listening. And as always, like I said, we're all made for more. We'll talk to you guys later. See ya.